everyone, it's Joanna here from Inspired by Stamping, and today I'm going to share with you how to color on craft paper with your Polychromo pencils. And this is such a fun technique. I know you're going to love it. So I'm using my Fresh Bouquet stamp set here and our hummingbirds, and I've just used some basic foam dimensionals and white cardstock base just so it has a beautiful white background. I'm going to zoom in here so we can get started, and what I've done already is I've already started to lay down some Prismacolor white for the background, and this is the key to creating a beautiful craft image, and we're just going to kick this off right away here. And what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go over those highlighted areas where the lightest color is going to be put down. You want to cover that up, that craft paper, with just a little bit of white, and that will allow those beautiful highlights to really shine and really just make this card turn into a beautiful wow card. So you can also color the whole entire stamp too if you'd like in white, but I've just has a tendency to just color the highlighting areas and just where my lightest color is going to lay, and I just want to make sure that you could do it either way. You can lay this all the way down, or you can just leave that highlighted area. So what we always do here, we're working with stamps, so I've already embossed with white embossing, and we're going to just lay down that darkest color of here. The key here for working with craft paper or cardstock is that you're not going to be able to produce that many layers, so you always want to lay down your darkest color first. You might have 2 or 3 layers on cardstock, and that will be it. And so you're going to want to lay down that darkest color first, then add those highlights here with a medium tone, going over halfway through with this darker color, and that will blend it. So you don't need to do any other blending except with your other lighter color. And now you can see right here how that light, really beautiful light pencil is just shining through with that white in the background, and it just makes it just a little bit lighter for you so that the craft paper does not interfere with our colors at all, because we've kind of covered it up with white. Now here you can lay down a little bit more white if you'd like to have it a little bit highlighted and a little bit lighter, but you really don't need to blend too much. So only about 2 or 3 layers will you get, so you can just add a little bit darker color to it to make sure it's absolutely vibrant and beautiful. And I'm just going to grab my medium shade pencil here, and we're just going to lay down a little bit more, and you can see how the vibrancy is just really starting to shine, and it's really a beautiful flower, and you can see that color is just taking hold right now. And you can add a little bit more of that light again, making sure we have it all blended through all 3 layers. You can really start to see those layers being laid down right now. And if you'd want, you can also grab a colorless blender and blend here if you really feel that, the colors between them are not really coming through. And sometimes I'll grab a hold of one of those and just quickly, and you can see how that just kind of blends just a little bit more, and you can see how pretty those different 3 shades are going. Here I'm going to share with you how you can color with it all being white. So we're going to color that whole beautiful petal white, and then we'll lay down our darker color. The thing about this cardstock and all cardstock is your pencil lines will show, so you really want to make sure that you are going in that direction of form and you're not going a different way, because the cardstock, it's cardstock, so it's not that beautiful watercolor paper that I was showing you in the last time, and so you will see your lines. Still try to push down as gently as you possibly can, but you will have a tendency that paper will burnish very easily, as it's not very strong and it is just cardstock. But it's okay, you will still create a very beautiful image regardless, as you can see with these flowers. And going over one more time and just kind of producing that beautiful line, watching where my line strokes are going, not my pencil strokes, not my brush strokes, just making sure that I'm still going in that direction of form and that I'm really going to be able to see those. So there's basically up, down with a little bit of a curvature going on here. And going through one more time with that lighter, and then that will just really truly just blend everything in. And you can keep going on with all the colors. Here, again, you know, you don't have to cover that white pencil with all those areas. I have a tendency to want to save my white pencils, so that's why I've only just highlighted. But if you have, and you feel like, you know, I'd prefer to do with a white pencil the entire petal, I mean, please just go for what you feel most comfortable with, and you'll find that it is just a wee bit differently with the blending and the colors. You probably will find that you might enjoy it, or you might just like to do it the other way. It's really truly up to you. So I'm going to keep going here with my coloring. It's pretty much self-explanatory through here. I did videotape the entire card being made, and I just wanted to show you exactly what I was doing throughout the whole entire thing. So you can see this whole entire flower on this side being colored from start to finish. I don't think that there's any more techniques or tips that I need to share. I think it's pretty much everything. And if you need to, you can always go back to our Polychromos Pencils 101, and then you can see everything from step by step of what I use and what I blend with. I really hope that you enjoy today's tutorial, and if you have any questions or comments or anything, just make sure that you email me. I'm always here to help, and I'm always here to answer those questions. Okay, I hope that you've enjoyed the quick pencil coloring that I've shared with you today. I have done a few different techniques, and I hope that you can see and kind of learn how to lay down color, how to switch it around. It really is up to you basically how you start, if you want to go light to dark or dark to light. But the thing is that when you're doing that no line coloring and you stamp an image, it's really important that you start with the darker color because you will cover up those stamp lines. And sometimes if you go with the lighter color, that will still cover it up. So you want to make sure that you know exactly where those stamp lines are. So it really is just a playing game and finding out what technique and how it works for you and what makes you feel the best about it. It's just a few things to point out here. White embossing powder is so important that you do not cover it up with a polychromo pencil because it will not come off. It will stay on. And so if you go over that white embossing with your pencil, you will lose that beautiful image. And another key tip is if you hit your pencil against the white embossing powder after it's been, adhered and created a beautiful line, you might lift it up too and you might peel it off. So make sure that you're very gentle around those edges, especially those edges that are very small and delicate. You really want to make sure that you have a very sharpened point. Always make sure that that tip of that pencil is very, very sharp. And I discussed that the last time that we were at our Polychromos tutorial, and that is because though you got to get inside those little teeth of that paper, and that helps with not having that white kind of freckled image where you can see through the paper. And so that really helps make sure that you can get inside those teeth and you can cover the whole paper completely. And that is also true with any form of paper that you work. So you really want to make sure you have a very, very sharp point. If you have any other questions or concerns, there was a few people that wrote me during the last Polychromo video and said that cream color pencil works really well too for some of the true colors with different tones. And that was a really good tip too by Chrissy. I also received a few other comments and tutorial or viewer questions too about the colors that I used with the white, yellow flower. So I also updated that tutorial page, and you can also grab those colors that I used to get that yellow rose in your flower too. And as you probably noticed, or maybe you didn't notice, that I have two different cards, one with the hummingbird, which I use the same technique. I use the white embossing powder. The thing that is really key here is that you can use a permanent marker and color over the white part to create that black bill and that black eye, and I just colored it the same way. But what I ended up doing is I laid down that white pencil all the way through that hummingbird, so I made sure that it really blossomed and really shined on that card. And I also just added a little bit of white embossing powder on black cardstock to create that second card. So you can create two different cards with two very different images, but still that same beautiful effect. And I'm sure that you could grab any color cardstock that you wanted. The great thing about these Polychromo pencils are they are oil based and that you can color over colored cardstock. Well, I really hope that you've enjoyed today's tutorial. Don't forget to email me with any questions, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram, and always make sure to visit me with our newsletter online classes. Thanks so much, everybody. I'll talk to you guys soon.